So, I think it's time to end the first day. And I saved right before going to bed because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I assume nothing. But based on this game so far, I think it's very possible that we just have, like, some kind of dream sequence or something. Oh, this is filled with bottles. So last time we learned that we have to pay Gart every night. Because if we don't have somewhere to sleep, then we lose. Like, the game just ends. So I'm going to take all these bottles as possible. I haven't sold any of the tare yet. But I have found a lot today, so I'm hoping that works out. Let's see. Still cannot open that. Looks like it goes to Kim's room or something. So I haven't actually looked in the mirror yet, and I assume that unlocks the player portrait there, but a mirror hangs on the wall, covered in steam. You cannot see yourself, just the outlines of a man. You have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. Really? Nothing? Really? All recollection of the person you are, the people in your life, and even the world you're in has drowned in a sea of blood alcohol. This was no mere night of drinking. It was a deluge of world-ending proportions. Wipe the mirror. As you slowly reach out your hand toward the surface of the mirror. Abort! You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Maybe I should touch it first, make sure there's nothing wrong with my face. Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it. How bad could it be? Where to even begin? There's the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin. I'm sure everything's fine. It's not. Your nose feels like it's a balloon in the middle of your face. It hurts when you honk it. Doesn't appear to be a particularly small nose either. Not with all the drinks it's absorbed for you. At least my tongue is okay. It's not. It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling between your fingers. Let's wipe the mirror. Ah! Behold! That's awful. This is worse than this. Like, the bigger picture isn't too bad. That's terrible. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Of course I do. Is it some kind of superstar? I think I'm a superstar. Appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face, or... Wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with a face? Why? I have no idea why it's there, it just is. I think it might be because I'm a superstar. Please stop, it's horrible. You're scaring yourself. It's just terrible. Okay, try to stop. Oh my god, you can't stop. It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You've worn that grin into your face and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? Superstardom? God, I don't know. It's indescribable. I think it's supposed to look suggestive. I'm afraid it's meant for the ladies. I'm insinuating that I'm vaguely sympathetic. I think I'm sort of pulling it off too, in a sad has-been kind of way. There's some charm to it. It's an expression of pain. You are correct. So you can choose between encyclopedia, electrochemistry, interfacing. My interfacing and electrochemistry are terrible, but this, dig deep into your mind to locate the source of the expression. Nope. Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now. Oh, wait. If I fail, do I I think I'd lose morale. It's too late. Like an image on the film, the expression belongs to your primary motor cortex. It would take a minor neurological miracle for you to cease producing it. Ugh. Alright, let the mirror be for now. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. Cool! Where's it coming from? From a distant sunset? A stage light? Flash photography? Nowhere in particular? It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit. Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official in the sentence, they sound weird together. Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Bye. Badass. On the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights. Wait, what's that about a ludicrous fantasy world? Yeah, you know, beneath it is just heartbreak, a pulmonary tract infection, atherosclerotic disease. This is where you say action and reconceptualize all that. Reinvent it as a world's first celebrity police officer. This is the beginning of your legend. Fuck it, action. Some kind of superstar. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on. Wait, did the color change? That's an interesting thing. I don't think the color changed. Did I have some of that? Those old shoes. Find smokes and smoke them. Find money for rent and pay GART. Close the water lock on Wednesday. Some kind of superstar. -2 to logic while it's researching. Only takes about an hour though. First, let's make this absolutely clear. No one is saying you're an actual superstar in this groupies and cocaine riddled with hepatitis C, strikes a lionesque pose with a mic kind of way. You're not William LeMayon or Davy Lewis, no. You're a metaphorical superstar. You bring that rock and roll authenticity and passion to a line of work where people don't expect or want to see it. Where some would say it doesn't belong. Law enforcement. Hell yeah. Alright. Gonna go to bed. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. That looks terrible. Crawl in. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then, sleep doesn't come. But I want to sleep. Obviously, you're in a bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening. Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault. Check the pillow. Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Check the blanket. Barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily. Huh. Roll over to the other side. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Who killed him? Something to do with... What was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brainwaves. No more thoughts. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you, until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming. Huh. Can I move through this fog? I cannot click on that. Alright, so that's not clickable. Gotta go north. Oh. Hello there.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
What is this? I remember nothing. I was born in a hospital where people usually go to die.
You're not kidding anyone, Harry. You don't remember shit. Tell me.
Huh.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
You said who? Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are. I left or I was left? You said who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth?
I left?
Oh no, funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. While you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
I've seen you before. I can... What is Elysium?
Everything. The pale and the isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
Just trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
Oh god, there's another type?
Oh yes, Hardie Boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
So I have all the morale back. That is... I love those voice actors. Electrochemistry. Good going, buddy. I just had the most beautiful dream. Uplifting, rejuvenating. Really? Because you feel even worse this morning than you did last night. What the hell is going on with me? You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. No, that's not it. Really, I feel super good. That's not really true. Your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to go get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself. Detecting is my life. What is speed? Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? You got up from this floor because of a holy vow you made 16 years ago with me to wake up exactly at 7:30 every morning until the day you die. Don't be silly. There was no vow. You were high on speed. That was the only reason you got up. You can't detect without it. It's that simple. Nah, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed. Are you sure? Ready to live up to this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically a week? Let's be honest. 2 weeks, maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired. That's a lie. I can do this without the speed. Half the town won't be dead. Suit yourself. Slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark. We can turn this around, no problem. Can I pick up that bottle? No. Alright. Morning of the second day. Let's see what Kim's up to. Or not. Let's see what this lady's up to. Door room number 3. Door's closed. Knock again, much harder. Still nothing. Do it again. Do it again. Try the handle. Okay, whatever. Do I have pliers in my hands? Good morning.
Morning.
Gives you a quick nod. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. He points to the mess hall doors. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. What do you mean, rowdy? I mean, ungovernable. Martinaise isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here? Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardie Boys, who are responsible for said policing. I think it's them. Are these the men Gart told us about yesterday? I completely forgot. He looks at his notes. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them, by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. Hey. Gained a lot of experience there. He crosses something out. One loose thread is less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it. Should we ask for reinforcements? That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Devadur Union? In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay? And why do we need to do this? A lot of things point to the Dock Workers Union. The circumstances in Martinaise, my preliminary information. Actually, that's not a lot of things. We should have dug up more yesterday. Still, we need to talk to them, and it won't be easy. Alright, let's roll. One more thing before we do. He glances at the booth again. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business. Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first. But aren't you curious to know what they had to do or say about the murder? They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me. I feel like we don't have a lot of information to confront them with.
Just a moment.
The old woman turns back to the cafeteria manager.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine. I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up? Howdy, Lena, what's kicking?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working.
A faint smile tells you she appreciates the effort, but at the moment her mind is on more serious matters.
The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Gary. Wait, what's wrong with the phone line?
The manager was vague about it.
Why did you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who is house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to be back on Monday night, but they're still missing and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
Okay, has he gone missing?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
She glances out the window and toward the bay. More important than a missing expedition? I don't know. Expeditions often lead to something interesting. Yeah, what is this about? Just some field work, sweetie. Morrell is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. You said they'd be back on Monday. She sighs. What could be keeping them? The waterlock. That was broken. Could this be it? Who's the Gary person? Do you trust him? She smiles. Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day. The waterlock is on the other side of the coast is broken. They probably just stuck over there. Oh my, what happened to the waterlock? Probably just some technical problem. Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. She turns to Kim. To both of you. You spared me another sleepless night. You're welcome, ma'am. She turns back to you. I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband. This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect. Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation. And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the waterlock's been repaired. And it's cold out there. If I see him, I'll let him know you're here when or if I get there. Cool. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie. So your husband is some kind of scientist? Oh, yes, she says with a pinch of pride. A zoologist, a cryptozoologist to be more precise. And what's that? It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends. The lieutenant sounds unimpressed. That's one opinion, yes. and people are entitled to their opinions. My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby. It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species, called cryptids, is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research. She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own. Tell me more about Moral. Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin. What does he look like? Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's, and his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, and he's quite gentle. It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world. Let's try again. If I were trying to meet him off the street, what would it look for? Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame. And he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even. The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description. One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds. You know, just in case. How long you been married? We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Her smile is soft. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. How'd you meet? Via a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident. And he just divorced. We hit it off and, well, here we are. She smiles wistfully. I think I have all the information I need. Let's move on. What's this rare insect? Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating, she catches herself. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae. The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance. No, I want to hear about it. Well, she hesitates. It's a phasmid, technically, but... Ah, yes, Phasmatodae. A diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially. Oh yeah, here comes the interesting. Where the other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. She looks you in the eye and nods thoughtfully. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers. I knew it, the lieutenant sighs. We're going to be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists. It's not made up, officer, I can assure you. It's simply elusive. So much so that the most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all. Does it have cool powers? Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. Her face lights up at the thought of it. It's how it's stayed hidden all these years. Centuries, even. So what makes you think it's around here? Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in the local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping. So a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have? Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at. So it's dangerous? She chuckles to herself. Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully? So it's valuable. Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie. Okay, what's so special about the stick bug then? Oh dear, I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. The woman's face flushes with embarrassment. Merle can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure. Less worried about husband, has the green ape pen. Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids? Yeah. Wait, success. There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd only be too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask. Hey Lena, I'd like to hear about some cryptids you studied. Could you just tell me about a couple of them? I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too. The lieutenant throws you one of his looks. One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. Okay, Kim, just one little cryptid, promise? He nods and assumes his waiting posture. Cryptids, let's hear about all the interesting cryptids. Oh, tough choice there. Are there any invisible cryptids? What's the most dangerous cryptid? The Gnome of Jeroma. She pauses for effect. The Gnome of Jeroma? That doesn't sound too bad. Oh, it is. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue. What did it look like? It was reportedly a small creature, with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead. An ungainly little thing, quite scary to look at. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped up in tarpaulin to suffocate it. She looks at you, her voice grave suddenly. It still took the Gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die. If the body of a creature was found, the lieutenant can't help himself. Why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of this very lethal species? Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science, she says mostly to herself. Alas, always alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient? No, it's a perfectly good explanation. Stop being so skeptical. Yeah, that is convenient. What's up with that? She nods. I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are rare and stand out. Their disappearance is most memorable, and they're least likely to be found again. Yeah, what about the tiniest one? The lieutenant leans in. Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid. I mean, don't you really want to hear about this, Kim? The lieutenant pauses thoughtfully. Something in him breaks. Oh no. Fuck it. Let's have more cryptids. She smiles. Well, the smallest cryptid is the Cryobacter catlensis, a unicellular bacterium. It was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Ketla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Catlin Michonneau some 70 years ago. What's so special about it? The bacterial colony Michonneau found was remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate, certainly from before recorded history. Michonneau disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to the what? She disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study, no doubt, in hopes of prolonging her own life. She injected herself with it? Being alive is terrible. I intend to live forever too, as a symbol. She was preparing for an end time. She wanted to witness the recorded twilight proceedings. Wait, she injected herself with it? Yes, bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It's not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea. It's actually a little hard to see. He looks at her skeptically, but do go on. She wanted to witness and record the twilight proceedings. Michonneau did talk about the end of the world a great deal before her abrupt departure. Everyone thought the bacteria had driven her mad, but she really was a brilliant woman. Maybe the Cryobacter catlensis allowed her to see something no one else could. This has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else. Of course, dear. That's all for now. I'll placate Kim for now.
Can I help you?
How much money do I have? I have less than $10. Alright. I'm actually going to head over to Freet, maybe. Who's this?
Let me handle this.
The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to you.
Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinaise, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome.
I love the color, like all the shading and stuff on this. This is really cool. Her entire character is shifted. This young woman is cold as ice. You're the gardener.
No, I'm not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dockworkers Union.
She crosses her arms.
So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardie. You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong-arming, nothing official. The district of Martinaise does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
Good to know.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
Also good to know. She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her. So what's your role in all this? Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. She crosses her arms. Do you have hearing problems? What are you going to do to me? The lieutenant is not satisfied with her approach. What are we going to do to you? She starts laughing. It's a cold laughter, devoid of joy. Why? Did you say that? Did you forget you're a cop? Again? Yeah. The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It's a labor organization. A gruff humph from the table. Goddamn right it is. If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. She shakes her head, but we digress. What if I want to talk to you? What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinaise, you are no one. Why are you so aggressive? Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers. Just dock workers? Do dock workers spy on the police? We let you off easy, miss. Don't think it will happen again. Listen, you moral intern lackeys, you're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards. Fuck yeah, the tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer. So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Let's see. I like that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the union's plans? Look, a comedian. Her expression stiffens. Do your job. Ask your questions and get out of Martinaise. Drama. Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop would be a socialist revolutionary. How odd. What's this? It's a bowl. They're spitting it, reeking of tobacco. Let's talk to this guy.
This is where you say your bit.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective?
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you for some reason. I don't know why he keeps doing this. We need to talk about the hangman out back.
Oh, this is about him? A real looker, that one.
You're sure taking your time. Waiting for him to get all ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Shanky.
Oh, he's a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Huh. the same thing in the dream.
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
He slaps his forehead.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them. Did you do it? The pretty boy? He takes a sip from his can. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy. Funny, the lieutenant says without a smile. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you. You're involved, somehow. I just don't have proof. Yet. Well, he picks up his beer can. Maybe you should just fuck off then. Nice. Don't worry. The lieutenant catches Titus's glance. We're resourceful. We'll find a good topic for us to discuss. Scan the room. No. He points at himself. Eyes here. You got business with my boys, you got business with me. He understood what you were doing, taking inventory of them. Now watch the other guys fuck it up by falling out of line. Shanky. Yeah, you fuck with the Hardie Boys, you fuck with Titus Hardie, shouts the scrawny rat-faced man, 2 teeth missing from the front. Yes, falling out of line to please him. This is the best kind. And now this guy is going to... Eugene. Relax, Dennis. No one is fucking you yet, says the 40-something man from the corner, with a plectrum hanging from his neck. Used to take a dig at his friends. Floodgates open? Yeah, Dennis, calm down. A blonde man in his 30s agrees. No one's fucking you, you stupid fuck. Elaine, let Dennis enjoy his fucking man. We don't mind. You notice gang tattoos. This man must be either Mesk or Ceramerizian? Ceramerizian. This one knows how to keep things going. He's a hothead, but not one to be taken lightly. The last one is a bit of a black sheep. Fat Angus. Yeah, the fat guy in the middle lets out a little chuckle. You're not even being fucked, Dennis. Easy, fellas. We got company. Titus puts an end to it. Let's see what brings the cop around. Too late. You already got a pretty good picture of these guys. You can use this. What can I use it for? Fucking say something already. The rat-faced man doesn't let you think. Guess what? I've come upon something incriminating. Incriminating. Now that's a big boy word. He puts his bearded can down. Well, he picks up his beer can again. Maybe you should just fuck off then. Alright, so I need to actually come up with something incriminating, some type of evidence. So I'm gonna go take off. Oh well. This is what I studied law for. Who is this guy? It's all about the money, you know? Alright. I'm actually gonna go over to Frit and see if I can sell this stuff. All these bottles and things. NPCs have stayed put for the most part, including these guys. So I can't visit the cigarette smoking guy on the balcony until later tonight. I think it was after 21. Oh wait, what's this thing? Tare machine. The tare machine stands in the corner. A sign says 1 bottle, 10 cents. Insert my bottles. Wow, that's not a whole lot. Your bottles clunk to the machine and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now. You're 100% sure you got special Hobocop money for that, Tare. At least 100% extra Tare money. If the numbers on the machine told you otherwise, it's a lie. So did I not actually get that money? Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You should buy more alcohol. Enter the endless cycle of consumption. Yeah, I don't think I actually got more money.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
I wonder if anything changes. I don't think it does. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. So that's a little bit disappointing. I collected a lot of bottles and I kind of assumed I'd get more money, but that also kind of makes sense. So find Moral the cryptozoologist, interrogate the vigilantes. So I need at least 20 Royale by the end of the night. I need to go at 21 to visit apartment 28. Yeah, I need to talk to these drivers again. This guy is a truck driver, a racist truck driver.
Looking for something, Hunt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
You're a lorry man, right? What's your stance on drugs? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. He takes a long drag on a cigarette. Why not? You know where that shit comes from. Samarizia, Zafra, Lamara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Racial economic sabotage. But they make alcohol in Lamara too? I was told they do. Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep this poison off the streets of Revachol, right? He eyes you warily, unsure of how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds, then... I don't know shit. If I did, I wouldn't tell you. He puffs on a cigarette. That's too bad. Then what are you still hanging around here for? Most other Kamwaners have left. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer. I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened? Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Whirling and Rags when some kip boy smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. He takes a long suck on his cigarette, appearing to savor the taste. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. Bad for him, I guess. The man shakes his head, dismayed, furiously pulling on a cigarette. It's a fucking travesty is what it is. If it's not you, then who's running the drugs through Terminal B? Isn't it obvious? Fucking Silang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. He spits on the ground. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. Wait, the street vendor south of here? That guy's a lorry driver? Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer's stuff after he broke the seals on a Humanox lorry. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He nods in a sagely manner, then another puff on the cigarette. He's your man, alright. 100%. I wouldn't be so sure about it, not until we've heard what Silang himself has to say. Guess we just need to pay him a visit. Guess so. He grins, contented with himself. Alright. I don't think we're gonna get anything from him. But this is this guy's truck, right? Magnets and Miracles U49. A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy, ground-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. Look at the window. Stickers and insignia. Peculiar paraphernalia. Pockets about honor, strength, and purity. Yeah, this is that guy's thing. What about the back seat? Back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns, wheels down the curtains. Yeah, it's this guy. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features large, muscular man. The title reads, Men from Hamdall and the Lost City of the Pygmies. Racist. Maybe if I buy a book and give it to that guy, he'll start talking about something else? Maybe not. Who knows? There's this person who didn't speak to us really at all. Pale driver. The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays. Snap the fingers.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Snap your fingers twice.
Where am I? Who are you?
Like a magician recalling a subject from hypnosis, you jolt her back to reality. The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast. Are you alright, ma'am? You were out.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in the traffic jam. In the 50s.
She adds with contempt. Where else would you be then?
Back in Mefke, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and coffees are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you come along, that is.
The look she gives you is accusatory. Who's Gabriel Buenguerro?
This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
She shows you the photograph in a lavish amber frame. Take a look. A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide-brimmed hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen. This man's got a hold over her. Even 50 years later, you can feel it.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of the cinema whenever he came on the screen, and schoolboys used to memorize all his lines.
She leans back, savoring the world she conjured up. In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind. So I take it you're in Amiska when you were young?
Someone was.
She nods as though her meaning were perfectly clear. Someone? Are these not your memories?
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They are beautiful. That is all that matters, beautiful and true. And they will win. They are coming for this, you know. All of this.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave approaching. Yeah, I have some questions.
Why not, Rife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She settles back against the railing of her motor lorry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos, and knickknacks line the dashboard. So what are you hauling? Diamonds. Diamonds, really? Of course not, she says, grinning. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Okay, but what are you really hauling? She shrugs. Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. So you don't know what you're hauling in your own lorry? I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. She smiles a careless smile. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean. She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason. You're getting high off driving the lorry? Oh, it's so much more than high where I go, Harive. It's low. I go to the bottom. She closes her eyes in reverie. Yeah, it's definitely some kick, some terrible kick in the dark. A sleep kick. Perhaps you can find out later. What if the cargo is contraband? Then it's contraband, lawman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo. Bad Hand Hermenegildo is Bad Hand. That is a long name. Bad Hand strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people. I really don't understand this whole why they're Gabriel Buenguerro thing. Of course not. To truly understand the boyadero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain. A boyadero, boya for short, is a cowherder from the upstream Magritte. The great steppes of northern Mesquite. He is a rugged individualist and explorer. Okay, what's that? It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyardero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain. I'm guessing that doesn't happen. Of course not. The boyardero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Magritte, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down. In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eyes. I think I see where this is going. So the boyardero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Magritte. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him. Wow. That's not where I thought this was going. You have to understand, a true boyardero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by a man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a boyardero, so he needed to die? What if to truly love a boyardero is to float lifelessly downstream? Before I came, you seemed away. She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things. So he doesn't think she's the smuggler? You hear that, lawman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me. Why is that, Lieutenant? Nothing. I just don't think she's connected to anything. He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something here. Something unconnected to the case. But connected to this woman turning out like that. Should you drive a lorry if you get like that? Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I drive routes like no one else will. What routes? Luminoso's Land, Vidochnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain. She nods and closes her eyes again, letting her mind submerge. The Transkala Magistral, U41A, as Estradas de Mirador, all the good ones, the deep trenches, where the bluebirds fly. She opens her eyes again and shudders. I'm something of an expert in blacking out. You should take better care of yourself. She looks you over and scoffs. You're right, lawman. I am the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me. A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby. Is that all you woke me up to say? You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs. What do I need drugs for, lawman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare. The adversary? Yes, there is a protagonistra. She gestures to the intersection. And an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hall. Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary, the great unrest. Where could I get my hands on experience like that? If you don't know, she flicks her wrist in a gesture of casual dismissal. Maybe if she thought you're corrupt? I wanted to ask if you'd be interested in smuggling some drugs. Why would I want to do that? I don't know, the thrill of the criminal lifestyle? Lawman, what in the name of God are you talking about? Let me put it another way. Are you smuggling drugs through Terminal B? Her shoulder bones crack as she shrugs. Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. You said you didn't know what you're hauling anyway. Could it be drugs? Just this month I made half a dozen trips from Saramarisa to Grad on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramarisa to Grad, lawman? Drugs? No, lawman. Diamonds. She grins. Alright, if you had to guess, who do you think's smuggling drugs around here? Easy, it's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. She squints across the square. Also, he's the only one I can see from here. Visual calculus. That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others. Okay. I didn't ask you about diamonds, did I? I don't care about that. Diamonds are good for you, lawman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Shores. Okay, if you're not involved with drug trafficking, then why are you still waiting here? Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to the music or the seagulls, look at the colors and the features of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back to where it will, to the Great Plains. I think we're done here, no? He closes his notebook to stress it. Alright, cool. Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Miske. Her voice trails off. Alright, I think that's a good place to end it. Next time I'm going to go interrogate the poet guy, and then I'm going to talk to Sealang again and see if there's any more information about the drug smuggling stuff I can do. And hopefully get some information out of the corporate negotiator lady, Joyce. So, until next time, have a good one. Take care.